everyone present here for this professional development program on Applied Artificial Intelligence and Expert System organized by Department of AIML. Today, we have a very special guest with us, Dr. Neeraj Upadhyaya. Dr. Neeraj Upadhyaya has completed his BE in EC in 1987 from MMTU, Gorakhpur, and ME in Digital Electronics in 1992 from Delhi College of Engineering, and MS in Software Engineering in 2001 from BITS Pilani with a CGPA of 8.35. Sir has also done his PhD in Computer Science and Engineering and MBA in Finance in 2011. Sir has completed 13 NPTEL Coursera courses in the area of AI, ML, DL and DS, and completed 11 NPTEL Coursera EDX courses in design thinking. Sir's experience include Indian Broadcasting Engineering Services, Indian Information Services, in JB Institute of Engineering and Technology, Moinabad. Sir has worked as HOD of CSE, Dean Academic Head, Vice Principal, and is currently working as Professor of CSE and Dean R&D. So we are very happy to have you here with us today.
Sir, very good morning to you. Before embarking on this particular session, because here one thing comes into the picture, and that is learning. I just want to ask all of you, what is the difference between intelligence and learning? Your course is AI and ML. There is intelligence and there is learning. What is the difference between intelligence and learning? And can a non-intelligent person learn? Learning may not give any intelligence. These are the core things which you must know. First, what is the difference between intelligence and learning? Because that is being asked in 99% job interviews now for AI/ML. It is your subject title. Two very core words, intelligence and learning. What is the difference? Can anyone say? And I don't want any correct bookish answer. What is your perception? When I was doing my PhD at Bristol University, my supervisor told me, because I was taking class also as his assistant, as a teaching assistant, he told that there is no right and wrong answer. If anybody is giving very innovative wrong answer, he is better than the person who is giving bookish right answer. So come out for just 1 minute. I want to know what is the difference between intelligence and learning. Sorry, I am having recently eye operation done. So my socket, I cannot see too much below. So this kind of thing do happen. Yeah, anyone? Yeah, please.
Intelligence is taking right decisions.
In learning also we take right decision. Let me tell you one thing. You have not learned anything by intelligence. Why? 1 is 1 and 2 is 2. You learn by learning. Because your mother, father told you, both science and engineering. There is no other subject in the world where both things are there, computer science and engineering. Because computer is partly science, partly engineering. In the same way, in AI and ML, so intelligence is your ability to solve the problem. You don't require any learning for that. As a fact, the best definition of intelligence is given by Gautam Buddha. In this slides, it will come. And he told, Pratyunman Shamta. In Pali, Pratyunman Shamta can roughly be translated as ability to guess without information. Ability to guess. And nobody is telling you anything. You don't have any idea, and still you are able to guess. It is known as intelligence. I'm just giving one small example. My city is Varanasi. I am from Banaras. You go to Varanasi for pilgrimage or anything. You don't know anybody in Varanasi. You are from Hyderabad. And you have to ask a way to Vishwanath temple. Will you ask anybody who comes, or you will see everybody's faces and try to guess who will answer, who will not? Nobody ask from the first person he encountered. You will see the face. You will try to guess whether this person is helpful, whether he will answer me or not. You don't know anybody in Varanasi. Still you are guessing, and your guess is 99.99% correct. To whom you ask, he will answer. And the person to whom they ask will differ from person to person. That is intelligence. You don't have any idea. But learning requires data. Learning requires idea. Learning requires input. If there is no input, but still output is there, then it is intelligence. You have guessed correctly. And everything which comes out new is through intelligence. Everything which improves is learning. So learning is the ability of a particular agent where his performance improves in any task T with experience E. Okay, that is the common definition of learning. Like cycling. More you cycle, you will become better. Programming. So they say, yeah, I'm learning programming. Nobody says I'm intelligent in programming. Because that, you have to learn. No, you know that some input has to be there. You will fall down, you will gather some experience. I should not do this, I should not do that, and then you will go on learn. In intelligence, experience is not needed. Experience is there, it is better. If prior knowledge is there, it is better. But without prior knowledge, without experience, I think some of you already have gone through the courses in search. Some searches are blind search. No information is needed. Still you can get result. As a fact, iterative deepening search, always you will get result. Even if you don't know. If solution is there, if solution exists, you will get it. Without any information. So that is the core difference between intelligence and learning. You should know that for intelligence, information is not mandated. For learning, it is most important thing to have information. You know, input and output should be known. And learning can lead you to wrong direction. Intelligence will never lead you to the wrong direction. How learning can lead you to the wrong direction? Can anyone give an example? Don't worry, I will cover. Don't think that I am telling you stories. See, sun rises in the east, sets in west. So this is the input. Input is what? Sun rises in the east, sets in west. What was the model? So Indian model was there. Sun is a god who rides on chariot, which is driven by Aruna. You know, that red colored one. And he is accompanied by one lady known as Usha. So when sun comes, first Aruna comes, the sky becomes red. Then Usha comes, it becomes light white. Then sun will come. Then sun will move. When Aruna is very good charioteer, so he will back, he will stop taking back. So first Aruna will come, so Usha will get down. The sky will be little red, white, then again red, then down. Sun will come, sun will get down first. And this particular mapping, this particular learning was considered unfallible. 1,000 and 2,000, 3,000 years, everything was calculated. Eclipses were calculated so correctly that now we know the date of Mahabharata based on the eclipse occurred because Jayadratha was killed by Arjuna in total eclipse. So you know that when 5,000 years back eclipse occurred at Hastinapur and Kurukshetra, and then you can get exact date when that war was going on. With this fake model, we know that there is nothing like that when person moves from east to west, west to east. Similarly, there was a learning that Earth is at the center and sun revolves around the sun. Galileo broke it. But that learning Even in India, the same model was there. Continued 5,000 years without giving a single error. So learning can give you wrong result. Such a wrong result, you are all superstitions are because of learning. So one day you took this color of pen and went to the office. Very good news. Next day, again this color of pen. Went to the office, you learned, oh, this color of pen is very good. So every day you will start going with this color of pen. One day you did morning stotram to Ganesha, went to the office, very good. The next day, very good. Third day, without doing stotram, you will not go. Let us go. I will do stotram and then only I will. This is all superstitions are because of learning. All wrong models are because of learning. So when we are in a field, we are in a field of AI/ML, we should know what is the fallacies of our field, where our field goes wrong. That also we should know. In this world, nothing is completely white, nothing is completely dark. So AI and ML are having these fallacies that AI cannot do anything wrong until unless your intention is wrong. ML can do by its very nature that it is data centric so many things wrong. Okay, so we are coming back to planning, learning and expert system. I will just tell planning before we go to the first slide. Why planning is considered almost most toughest of the task in learning. As a fact, till now, no one has made perfect plan of anything. So people are having, Government of India, I was there earlier in Government of India, in Indian Information Services, and they make 5-year plan. So many people will sit, all best brains of the India, all economists. None of them will be, and if he has planned properly, even if he is getting average mark, he will fare much better in the career. I did my BTech in 87, only 30 students in ECE class. All 30 got engineering services, which ESC, and 17 of us got civil services. But 13 of those who didn't get civil services were better students than us, but I didn't plan with it. It is not like that they were inferior and we were better, we got civil services and they are sticking with engineering services. So planning requires 3 things which are very difficult. First thing is that planning requires you to search. What is the candidate solution? Suppose you want to do something. Then I have to do what should be before that, what should be after that. All those things planning requires. And that is very difficult. Just a minute. So, you have to search, and searching is a very, very difficult task, and you know that it is order of b to the power d most of the time. Even if you do, I think all of you have gone through one course in searching. If you have not gone through, just take it from me, it is polynomial order thing. You know polynomial order thing? That for doing task, time increases very rapidly. So if problem is little complex, you will take a lot of time to plan. That's why 5 years plan sometimes takes more than 7 years to plan. So you have to take what will be the condition before that, what will be the condition after that, how this condition will move towards that condition. So many. Then second thing you require is that knowledge representation. Because planning is not done as a blind search. You are having some knowledge. That India is having this population, this Bihar is very backward, or maybe Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal are little advanced states. So we need to deal with them separately, with other people a little separately. That requires a lot of background knowledge. So you need to know knowledge representation, which is another tough part of AI. So there are 2 tough parts of AI. One is searching, one is knowledge representation. Both are required for planning. We will see now that Even for a small planning, you will get bogged down. But these two are nothing. Third part is even worse, most difficult, and that is reasoning. With these two, searching and knowledge representation, you have to reason what is good, what is bad. So that's why planning is one of the most complicated tasks. Like learning is there, or expert systems are there. Learning is very popular, your course is AI and ML, but it is not as difficult as planning. And that's why planning is always in the 5th unit. So even if you don't study, it's okay. Kind of, it's very difficult. A good planning. I'm telling you, if you plan timetable of IARE, all classes, nobody should get conflict, and you are having teachers less than optimal. You know, planning is to be done only when your resources are less than optimal. You are having 1 billion rupees and you have to go and have a dinner, then no need of planning is needed. 1 billion is good enough to go to any hotel and eat whatever you want, or buy the hotel itself. But you need to plan only when your money is less than your requirement. So, and you try to plan. So, and then you will see that you will start aspiring. Most of the country in this world, if they fail because of the wrong plan, example is Soviet Union, Russia, and if they prosper because of the good plan, example is US. Almost all of them started at the same state at the beginning of 19th century. This 200 years, some made some countries, break some countries. It is because of the poor planning or good planning. Next slide. Is there any way that I can control the slides?
Yes, sir. Okay.
No problem. So this PowerPoint presentation I have modeled in such a way that initially we will see planning for 50 minutes, learning for 50 minutes. I think in between some break also will be there. Before that search is a method in which we gather, candidate solutions. So like suppose I have to see, I am recruiter, and I have to take one student, only one student of this group in my company. So what is happening? You all are candidate solution. Is it that I can take any of you? You all are candidate solutions. But then I am having certain, what you can say, some weight value, or some, your fitness value. Who is the fittest for my job? You all are candidate. I will check everybody's fitness value. That is known as interview. And then they select one. So, in search, just to think that in this class, or this room, maybe 80 or 90 people are there, and everybody can be good solution and not good solution. So potentially there are 2 to the power 90 options. So search gets fast because you are good, I can take you, or I cannot take you. When you are good, I will do further some other tests, and that gets that everyone can pass or everyone can fail, and 90 are there. So if you see options, it is much more that if you see that 2 to the power 9, you will see machine learning after some time. Then knowledge representation. I told you knowledge representation is also very difficult. That I should know in planning what is what. But there are so many objects. You all are object. That you are having eyes, you are having legs, you are having certain capabilities. You are having certain marks in 12, certain marks in first year, second year, third year, final year. You have done some mini project, you have done some main project. All these are objects. And I have to go through that to plan just to hire one person. Then third, planning combines both the above. And I didn't write here, otherwise you will get fearful that you have to have the reasoning also. Reasoning is, it's almost a very scarce commodity. Most of the people, they don't reason before taking action. Otherwise, nobody will fail. Just you reason. We are very much in hurry, we don't reason. So leave that. That is, very individual, we are taking planning to very individual way, but officially, it is very difficult because you need to know searching and you need to know knowledge representation. When you merge these two, you get heuristic search. When a search is done with the knowledge, we call that kind of search is heuristic search. Like, I am telling you go to Mount Everest. No other thing. So you have to go to Mount Everest, and if you are lucky and there is some other climber on the Mount Everest, you will ask what is this place, he will say Mount Everest, and he will say achieved, eureka, eureka, he will jump. How difficult it is. You know that suppose I am standing here, around me infinite points are there. I can move any direction. Only in this direction door is there. And then after the door again, there is a way. I can go this side, that side. It's almost impossible task to go to Everest from this place. If you don't know anything about Everest. But we know, suppose you know about Everest. And you have to plan your way to the Everest. And what I am telling you, Everest is the highest point in the earth. That is true. It is the highest point in the earth. So you will start walking after some time. You will be there somewhere, near this Yadadri. And you are at the peak of Yadadri. And you are seeing there is no other point higher than this. Is that point Mount Everest? No. So you will get local minima. How you will understand that it is a local minima? I have to give you other information. Everest is snow capped. Yadadri is high, but there is no snow on Yadadri. So you will think, okay, I have to go to other place. See, with every information, every heuristic, your search task becomes easier. So when these two are merged, we call it heuristic search. So planning requires heuristic search also. So planning is important in AI, and why it is important? I told you that we humans are very fond of planning. So on 1st January, everybody will make so many targets. Or by 10th January, that book where you have written target is also not available. It has gone somewhere, or you started tearing off and playing some other game with that. But we all love planning. Why? Because we know that planning is the sure short way to achieve goal. We cannot do planning, that is a different thing. But we all love planning. Nobody is there who doesn't plan. So you see that humans do everything with a certain goal in mind. And what we do, we know that the goal is there. Like many of you, I was from very poor background. So I used to see this IARE people coming in the car and with red batti. So that was my goal. I should get a car with red batti. Batti means flag. Nowadays they are not allowed. IAS are not allowed to have red. They have stopped. Even ministers are not allowed. But during my time, all IAS will move, and I used to get very much inspired. I should become. I didn't become, but I reached very close to that. So my job is also having car on red batti. My wife moves in the car sometimes in red. Suppose you are going into a remote area, then they will switch on the red batti to give impression. So we all are having some target, some planning, and that's why if we are in artificial intelligence and machine learning, we are trying to make machine do what humans do. Humans do planning, so machine should also do planning. That is why planning becomes a key area of machine learning. Now you come that planning is all about deciding actions to be performed by artificial intelligence system and the functioning of that system on its own in domain independent situations. Now, what does it mean? Too much complicated English. So, if a computer can decide its action on its own and plan without bothering about the domain. Initially we have to make domain important because that we also cannot think beyond domain until unless you grow very large. So you know that by 40, 50, you start thinking beyond domain. Otherwise you are thinking inside the domain. But if a computer has to do it that way without any help. I am giving you one example. One baby is there, maybe 7 months old, and mother is carrying the baby while cooking. And baby is enticed by the flame. Oh, what a beautiful flame! Yellow, red. You know, in flame all the colors are there. Sometimes blue also, sometimes purple, magenta, all. And baby is enticed. I want to touch. The moment baby touches, next time he won't touch flame at all. If flame is there, his face will be there. So, baby has planned. Next time mother will go near to the flame, baby has planned its action to move away from the flame. This is the plan. This, a baby of 7 months will do, who cannot even speak, who can just simply move hands. That baby also does that. So, if at all we want our system to have domain-independent knowledge description, then planning is essential. So that is what we are doing planning. So what is the, I am telling you these three things: domain description, action specification, and goal description. Like suppose you want to go to Carnegie Mellon University or AIML, that is the best. You are thinking, I want to join Carnegie Mellon to do masters. Then it is a goal. And what is the goal description? Carnegie Mellon, AIML in previous days was first in the world. So you know QS ranking is there. And for AIML, last year Carnegie Mellon was the first. It is 20th ranked institute. But for AIML it was first. So you are thinking, I will go to. So that is the domain, goal description. What is another goal description? Carnegie Mellon University is there in Pittsburgh, that is in USA. So I have to appear in GRE, TOEFL. I have to have some money to go to. So all these are domain descriptions. You have created a domain description. This is the Carnegie Mellon. And you in domain description write also that why you want to go there. What is great in Carnegie Mellon. Then you make goal description. What is your goal description? If you want to get Carnegie Mellon, your GRE score should be more than 325 out of 340. So it should be 325. Your score should be there. And then Carnegie Mellon is a private university. You know that Stanford, Carnegie Mellon. So their fees are very high. Carnegie Mellon fees will be $50,000 per year. So if you want to do 2 years course, $1 lakh for fees and $1 lakh for stay and other thing, you need to have $200,000 with you. That is another goal description. You should not have any issue at your home, nearby your home. Otherwise you cannot go. Many people, they want to go, they are having money, but their mother is sick, their father is, they have to support the father, they don't want to go. So all those problems. And then you create one action specification. What is action specification? In third year, I will appear in GRE. In first semester. Third year, second semester, I will appear. Why you want to appear in third year? Because GRE score is valid for 2 years. Then third year, second semester, I will appear in TOEFL. Then I will go to an agent who can give me fake transfer of money into my father's account to show that I am having enough money to go there. Action description, these are actions. So we have a forward state space planning and backward state planning. See that what is the forward state space planning? I don't have anything, but I want to do good in AIML. In AIML, to do good, this BTech education may not be sufficient because it is advanced thing. BTech CSE is good. BTech CSE is good to do everything. You are doing something advanced than BTech CSE. So you want to do masters. Say, doing masters in India is no fun basically. You know that. Okay, you can do masters, But even IIT, everywhere, IISc, it is not a fun. So what you thought? I will do masters abroad. Then in abroad doing masters, there are many institutes which are very good. I select Carnegie Mellon because of the US ranking. Then you reach the goal of selecting Carnegie Mellon. Another way, I want to go to Carnegie Mellon. For that I need to have good GRE. For that I need to have good software. For that I need to have good marks in IARE exam. For that I have to have good, extracurricular, co-curricular certificates in my hand. See, you are doing backward. First time you are going forward. So you can do forward planning, where forward planning starts with where you are, goes to goal. Backward planning starts with goal, comes to where you are. So that is forward space planning and backward space planning. For an efficient planning system, you need to combine the features. And generally what we do some forward planning, some backward. And that is normal. Now we will see. So this is our system, and we do planning in planning languages. It is not like that. See, we human, in which language you do your planning? Can you tell? No. Mother tongue is something outside. So, suppose that you took birth in Hyderabad and your mother father are Telugu speaking. Immediately after 1 year you move to USA, your mother tongue will not be Telugu. Take it from me. We do all our planning in mentalese. Mentalese is a language which is hardwired language in our brain. That is why every language is fully translatable to other language. It can surprise you that how come Telugu is 100% translatable to Hindi, Hindi is 100% translatable to English, and English is 100% translatable to maybe some African language. It is because that we are having some language hardwired in our brain. That is known as mental, and we do all planning, all complicated tasks in that. And that is why when you are too much engrossed, you don't think in language. You are getting something out from your brain, because if you think in language, 80% of brain will be busy. Basically, natural language processing is very tough today, and brain will be very much busy. Like when I am talking, if sleep is getting induced in you, there is nothing wrong. Your brain is working very hard to get that, and that is our problem. So we need to have language, and that language must have states, goal, selection. Why it must have states, goal, and action? Just now, last time we saw that everything can be described as a goal, states, and action. So it should have that. Then it should be very expressive, or good enough expressive. What is the meaning of expressive language? If you are speaking English, you can use one word which tells everything in that situation. Foxed. I was foxed. What does it mean by I was foxed? Somebody did show better intelligence than me, and I was also in competition, but he outdid me. Just single word having this much meaning. But suppose you don't know, and you are telling somebody did better than me, I was in also competition, he outdid me, then that is not expressive. If you are having words to show a very particular thing, then we call it very expressive language. Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, our old languages are very expressive. Where English is not that expressive. It is not that old language, 400 years old. English. Hindi is 200 years old. And that is why the problem of expression is there in these two languages. Then flexible. So why it should be flexible? Just now I told, it should be able to do forward state planning and backward state planning. So it should do causal and it should do resulting both. Causal means something is the causing result, and resulting means some result is asking for some cause. what kind of flexibility it should have. So what is planning domain definition? So that all those planning domain definition languages, they fulfill this task, and there are scripts. There are so many languages, but they all do this task. And now all PDDL are there in version 1.2. Then you will go to planning. When you take a subject planning, you have to see the PDDL 1.2. So now I am giving you one example which is there in your field. If you want to write a paper, I don't know, but nowadays a lot of stress is there on a student to write a paper. You write a paper, publish in some journal, may not be very good ones, top ones, but start practicing writing. So what you need to do? There are steps. Learn about it. You cannot write a paper without learning. So see that it is PDDL expression. Learn about XY, precondition, hash time for study. You can learn about only you are having time. And then effects, knows XY, now hash time for study. So if two effects are possible, either you will know about XY or you don't have time, so you don't know anything. You are not done. In the same way, I have given second construct. So you see, it is very much like English. PDDLs are very much like English. You just by seeing that you can understand what you are programming, and they cannot directly be programmed in computers. What language you have to use? Anyone? Suppose that you want PDDL to directly program without having an artificial interface. Like PDDL 1.2 is having artificial interface. You give PDDL, automatically translates and executes. But without PDDL, how you can execute this interface? There is one language known as program logic. Prolog. You might have heard that one language is there. There you can directly code all the PDDL. Nowadays, all PDDLs are having their own interpreters. They will convert PDDL code to program logic will be executed on computer. So these are the, start. I told you, every planning problem has to start somewhere, it has to end somewhere, there will be some intermediate steps. So you see all it has done for writing a paper, like advisor, all those things. You can try that, it's very interesting. It's very interesting, especially if you want to plan your time. There is one software known as Microsoft Planner, coded in PDDL 1.2, and you can see its efficiency. And so, forward state space search, just now I talked what is forward state. And this is the way. So, you are at home and you are, suppose it is raining, then what you have to do? You are at home, there is umbrella, you can take umbrella, you can go out. You are out, umbrella is there, then it's okay. If you are out, umbrella is not there, then you don't have any other option to get wet in the rain. So this is the forward space planning, or the same thing. So backward space planning, that is regression planning. So you are at work, you are at drive, that is your goal. And you can do with umbrella work or without umbrella work, depending upon the fact umbrella is there with you or not. So now that whatever problem I am telling, they are very difficult problems. They are human solved problems. Computer cannot solve that big problem as of now. So computer solves very small problems in AI, and this is the problem which is being taught in our textbook as a as a kiddie problem. Like kids, they start with very small cycle for cycling. So it is that kind of problem. So we learn that cycle, then you can learn big cycle kind of thing. So what is the problem? There are so many blocks lying on this table, and some blocks are on top of each other, some blocks are just one block on the table, and then you are having a robot. You have to change. Now C is above B, B is above A, and A is above table. D is just like that, U is just like that. You are having a robotic arm. With that, you have to make A above D and C above E. This is the task. How you will plan this? Very simple. Actually, as a fact, human being will not plan, they directly do. But machine has to plan. There are conditions that the block which is in the hand of robot, you cannot do anything with that. And you cannot pull the block from the middle. That A is the bottom, B is middle, C is there, the robot will go and take B out, and C will fall on A. You cannot do that. And you have to do all the action of shifting block from one stack to other stack, and that is known as this block world. So everything is block. Why it is so important to learn this? It's very easy. And you get complete idea how planning is done. As I said, even small tasks give you complete idea how planning is done. Like taking umbrella, not taking umbrella, passing, going abroad, everything. So this is the block world. And you see that A is B is above A, B is above C, and on BA means B is above A, on A table, A is above table, and D is above C, and C is above table. Clear B means remove B and keep it somewhere, clear C. Now nothing is there, you remove it somewhere on table. So these kind of small instructions are there, and what you need to do, you need to do whatever is being instructed to you. If it has been instructed that you put C on table, B on table, do that. And this is known as block world, and heuristic is there that if A is above B, I cannot touch A directly. I have to first remove B, then only I can touch A. If D is above C, I cannot touch C directly. I have to remove D and touch C. All these are common heuristics. And then you will see so this is a normal issue, and then here precondition on XY, clear X, clear Z, this kind of language is there. So how I can put A above C? I will do clear B. I will first say B on A, B on C, clear B. So clear D. Now A on C. So this is the simple way of keeping A on top of C. You will think that it is so ridiculous, but soon it will get very complicated. So that slide was this only. Then there are other examples in this. And when you get a solution, so you are started, and you can get solution in this way, or you can get solution in this way. You can do a planning in multiple ways. You know that suppose I want to go from this place to say Dundigal. There are many ways to go. Each way is known as partial order planning, POP. And partial order planning, that is a very funny thing in planning. POP is considered better than complete planning. What? Complete planning means only one way. You have traversed completely. POP means you know all the way and you can extend it into full way. How? Just next slide. Not here. This is the partial order planning. And you see, this partial order planning can be converted into full order planning just by expanding. So, like you want to wear shoes. How you will wear shoes? First, you will ensure that you are having a barefoot. It is not like that already one shoe is there and you started putting socks and trying to put other shoe. It is not going to work. So first thing is that you ensure that both the foots are there. then you will put socks in left foot, socks in right foot, then shoe in left foot, shoe in right foot. That is the process. So you see here, start, left sock, left shoe, finish, right sock, right shoe, finish. Now this is the total order plan. Both start, right sock, left sock, right shoe, right, and then finish. If you are having multiple people, like 3 people are there, and everybody has to wear the shoes, you see there are partial order plan has become total order plan into 3 total order plan. So POP is considered core in planning rather than total order plan. Because if you know POP, you can what we call rollback. Total order planning anytime, just roll it as many times as you want. And it is better and easier way to represent than this. But this is taking so much memory. So what I can say, this is there, part 1, 2, 3. Instead of this telling that one person will do this, second will do, third will do, in that. So now components of a plan. So we already are talking. So we are having action, and I told that action depends on constraint. Just now we saw in shoes that if you want to wear the socks, it is not possible that you are already wearing a shoe and putting socks on that. Sometimes we do. We are forgetful. We don't know that okay, shoe is there. They started putting. So the shoe is so comfortable. We are not finding that it is there in the leg. So that is one thing. And you know what happens? Everywhere constraint will be there, but some constraint will be causal. What is the causal constraint? Like you want to appear in placement, but 3, 2, you got one backlog. That is a causal constraint. It will cause different set of actions. Like having 70% marks is one constraint. You should have 70% marks. Then you will get certain companies. If you are not having 70% marks, you will get certain other companies. But nowadays, if companies are not taking without with backlog people, then suddenly you got backlog. It is a very, very different kind of constraint because it takes time. You have to appear in supplementary, then the result will come. You have to clear the backlog. By the time that company has gone. So all this. So some constraints, they are very much needed that you have to achieve something for getting something. Backlog means you have to pass all the subject to get job in good company. And then a set of open precondition. What is the open precondition? That open precondition nobody wants. We have to reduce open precondition. But what is open precondition? Suppose that you are going to, from here to Canberra, again, you can take rickshaw, you can take auto, you can hire a taxi, or you can go by scooter, riding yourself, you can go to scooter by pillion. You know that somebody is riding and you are pillion rider. That is open constraint. You have to reduce it, otherwise fan out will be too much. What is fan out? From one condition, how many possible actions are there? If open constraints are there, they increases fan out very bigly. And you cannot plan. So you have to say, I will go by my own, or I will go with someone. I will hire, or I will use my own vehicle. All this you have to decide, but otherwise open conditions. So every good planner, he tried to reduce open conditions. Open conditions are open option which doesn't give much advantage. So suppose you want to reach Prasad multiplex to see cinema, and whether you go by bus, you go by train, or you go by walk, if you reach before time, it doesn't matter. So you have to reduce the open condition so to reach a certain phase. Now you have seen partial order planning. Just we see back what is the wearing shoes. Have your leg free, here a shop, here a shoe. Since you have to search your left where it is free, you have to search the shop, you have to search shoe. Proper shoe, in left shoe, right left, right shoe. So POP can be thought as a search problem, and most of the POPs are search problems. So now goal stack planning. Goal stack planning we are discussing all around, but I told it backward. So goal stack planning means the goal is first. You make a step and you see what are the conditions required to reach to that goal. Again I am coming back to getting admission in CMU. So goal is first. You know that I have to get admission into CMU. What are the conditions? GRE score minimum 325 and IARE in band of 7. The percentage roughly above 75. And you must have at least three certificates where it can be verified that you have done social work in helping society or other things. Now, then for helping society, what are the basic conditions? There must be opportunity available in your college in terms of provision of non-profit organization, some student body, and you should be a member of that. You should have done something. In studies, you should have done better. In GRE, you should have appeared with all preparation. So in this way, when you go there, it is known as goal stack planning. I am having a goal that is sitting on top of a stack, and I am seeing that what I can do to reach to the bottom, and once I have analyzed completely, I will start doing from bottom to the top. So, and goal stack planning is exactly, you see that it is exactly the way we have done backward stack planning. There is no difference in that, but it is the easiest thing. Why forward stack planning is not a good plan, and why backward stack plan is a better plan than forward stack plan. Anyway, I am starting from here and I want to reach to the goal. I am telling that is not as good as thinking of the goal and coming here. You might have read the book, Keep the Goal in Mind. Start from the end. There are so many books, they come. Start from the end, keep the goal in mind. Why this so? Why not from here to goal? Why from goal to this place? Reason is that if you start from here to goal, there is a huge fan out. You can think, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. And as at this place, there are no conditions. You want whatever you can do. Once you will reach there, again you have spent some time, some effort. Either you have to come back or you have to go again, and you will not reach to the optimal goal. So forward state planning, if the goal is there, you can always reach that path it will give. But fan out is so much that it is not, you cannot do it. It is simply impossible to compute that. Backward state planning is lousy planning. Sometimes it may not give correct result. You cannot go back. But if it requires very less computation, and we humans, we avoid lot of computation. So everybody does the backward step. So we decide what we want to do. Like if you are coming here, from class 10th onwards in your house, discussion would have started that you will become engineer. Then you went to the Sri Chaitanya, I don't know what kind of those classes, and then they will destroy your life those 2 years. So then you are landing here. I'm not telling, but just you think. Even your parents, everybody did backward steps. Nobody thought what you can do. You know that I will come with one small story just to break. One person was there in Bihar, and that too in Muslim community, that too very backward Muslim community. Education was very less, and he did BA. He appeared in. Everybody told you are fool. As a fact, his father, thinking that he became IAS, fixed his marriage and got advanced dowry. Now he told, no, I don't want to do IAS. So his father told, I will break your leg if you do like that. Get out from my house. He went out from his house, went to Kolkata from Bihar. His friend who got second rank, sixth rank, they came and they told, you are doing big mistake. What is this? People dream for it. He told, no, I want to do MA in history. So he went to Kolkata University, he did MA in history. At the age of 38, he was so intelligent, he became Vice Chancellor of Kolkata University. At the age of 42, he became Governor of West Bengal. And the person who was telling you are doing great mistake was his PA as IAS. You know, Governor PA is also IAS. So who was that person? Nazrul Islam, Governor of West Bengal, a noted historian. He wrote 17 history books, and total royalty of those books as of now is 18 crore rupees per year. He died until. So, and no IAS could have done, white money to that extent, that name that he became governor. That kind of fame that I am remembering him 15 years after his demise. He died. 15 years, he died very young, around 50, 52, 53. But I am remembering him after his demise, but because he did forward steps. He didn't see that I will become IAS, for IAS I have to do PA. No, I have done PA, and whatever is the best after PA, I will do that. He thought MA is the best. He did. You go and search on internet, Nazrul Islam, and then you will see that he is one of the Oxford University honored him, telling that you don't have any professor of your caliber. And Oxford University is one of the best universities. So, forward step planning is good, but then you require brain of the caliber of Nazrul Islam, who without anything, without any book, without any money, without any preparation, immediately after BA, stood first in IAS. Here people go to Sarai, Jia Sarai, Delhi, prepare for 3 years, spending a lot of money, still they don't get it. And so, if you are having that brain, please do FSA. If you don't have, please do BS. That's what is different. So, these are the initial and goal state. See, the code is so simple. Initial state is defined as on BA. So, B is on A. And table A is on table. C is on table, D is on table. Then here it is defined, C is on A, and D is on B, and A is on table and D is on table. So very simple English-like language. You write in that, there is an intermediate interpreter which will convert into product, and product will get executed in computer. So, now, that what are the constraints? Constraint is that robotic arms are not very good arms, not like us. We can do miracle. A small 1-year-old boy can climb on stairs, though he is walking on 4 legs. Not even on 2 now, but they climb on stairs. And if you don't believe, try to do the same thing with a small puppy. They cannot climb on stairs. The brain difference is very evident. That puppy is having 4 legs, more balance, body is more balanced, and try to put cow back on the stairs, he won't, he will not do. So this is the big trouble, that robot is having so many constraints, stack, unstack, pick up, put down, everything should be defined in terms of constraint. It can lift only this much, it can turn only at this angle, it can put with this much pressure, it cannot squeeze, all this. Same thing in table form, so that if you are doing program, you can do. Many people will do some work with computer, especially computer holding the glass, and it is very difficult. Because when computing arm hold the glass, 90% time it breaks the glass. Because of the more pressure. Or sometimes it breaks the glass because it has not lifted. It is little away. So, but 10 centimeter it has taken, then glass. So all these things are. So now nonlinear planning. Nonlinear planning is very important. All these plannings are linear. You do one action, then other action, then other action, then other action. Do we do like that? When you walk on the street, you keep mobile phone watching messages. Nonlinear planning. Two things are happening together. Some people are even there. They are having headphones. They are listening music, they are watching messages and walking on the street. Of course, it is a very good recipe for disaster, but people do. Nonlinear planning is a planning in which you do things in parallel, not in serial, sequential way. As in planning, we are doing things in sequential and serial way. Nonlinear planning, we don't do things in sequential way. Now, what problems it can give? I have given you one example that you are carrying mobile phone, you are having headphone, and you are listening song, watching messages, and walking on the road. What kind of problems it can give? Not disturbance, but thing is that every activity is having certain preconditions. Like listening music is having certain preconditions that your attention should be on music. Walking is having certain preconditions that your attention should be on the road. And watching messages will be having a certain precondition that you should be watching messages with full attention. As all the three preconditions are contradictory, you cannot have three activity with single precondition. What will happen that you are failing in that precondition, and there the planning will fail. But sometimes it is useful. Like one example, so you are taking car for servicing, and then suppose you all are bachelor, but husbands are very poor creatures. So your wife has called. Now you have to immediately respond, otherwise it will be chaos. So what you will do? You are driving car. While driving car, you should not lift mobile. If you lift mobile, you may likely to cause any accident. So when you do nonlinear programming, you have to add one more actor. And what is that one more actor? Bluetooth speaker. So when you are driving, that Bluetooth speaker is there, and you are conversing on Bluetooth speaker. That also is a problem. It is not like that attention will not be divided, but less. So nonlinear planning is very good. As in fact, we all do nonlinear from childhood. Women are very good in nonlinear planning. Males are not that good in nonlinear planning. So males are having little more focus but less diversity. Females by nature, they are having more focus and less diversity. A lot of nonlinear planning is done by women that they take care of the kids, they are cooking, they are doing something else, and they are watching TV serial also at the same moment. So 4 or 5 things they can do. But males generally are not able to do to that extent. So constraint posting. So when we do nonlinear programming, we should post the constraint. And constraints are different. Like I told, when you are walking, listening and watching, constraint is that all the three require 100% brain attention. That is a constraint. So when we do like that, we suggesting operator. Here what we did, writing the variable. So we have to say which one is more important. So when you are free, like there is no traffic, you can take the call. Or when you are, you are walking and you are walking in ground, you can listen, you can watch, and you can walk. All the three you can do. Or you are walking on the rooftop of your house. That also is possible. And then you bind a thing. This much percentage of attention minimum is needed for this. Very, very difficult. But people do all the time. But when we want to program robot to do that, it is really, really very tough. You know that I don't have video, but you can watch video on YouTube, robots playing football. And it is so funny. Not a single robot is hitting football properly. It is falling down, but because it is non-linear programming. When you play football, your one attention is there on the goal post. Other attention is there on the football. Third attention is there who are along with you. Your team members, and fourth attention is there who are opposition. It is very, very difficult for robots. It is very easy for us. If Beckham is there, he will say what is there, it is so easy. I am talking about football player Beckham. But even best robot cannot do it. Best robot cannot climb the stairs very properly. So there is a challenge, stair climb challenge, that a robot has to climb a stair. Which you know that iron stairs circular. In some houses they are there outside. Till now not a single robot has gone beyond 5th floor. By 4th floor they follow. The reason is that you are taking care of 4 dimensions. At what height you are there, where you have to go, where you are moving. Because in circular stairs you are moving front, you are going in this direction. The more height will be there, your balance will get triggered due to certain kind of gravity action. So again, robots cannot do. This constant posting is the only way where linear programming can be successful. Constant posting is so easy that in real life it is very easy task and you can accomplish. So basically, in this way we do constraint posting. Hold means suppose that you are walking and suddenly one truck has come and you are having earphone and mobile. Then what will you do? You will remove mobile, or maybe you will put earphone also here because now traffic is there. So what you have done? You have holded and given 100% attention to the task. That is the planning we do, and that is our constraint posting plan. So you can see this particular PPT will be here. You can see that subsequently as well. But one planning is there, hierarchical planning. Hierarchical planning we all do when task is very tough. Telangana students are very good in hierarchical planning. So suppose I teach nowadays deep learning. So in deep learning now your JNTU, I think this college is also related to JNTU. So JNTU has told that 8 questions will be there, out of them you have to do any 5. So every student will make a plan. 8 questions will give 100. Passing marks are this many marks. This many units are 5 will be, it is good enough. This should be backup plan. This is the easy. Then in this easy, these questions have come. So that this is known as hierarchy planning. A big task divide into a small task, and then again go and divide into a small task, so that task is you can take up the task. And usually we do hierarchical planning along with nonlinear planning. So you can take parallel tasks. Like suppose that class is having you are having first period, second period, third period, fourth period, and then sports period. Then you can think of and you have to submit practical next day. Otherwise, teacher is very really terrible, and she will give 0, 0, 0, something like that. Then what we do? Where I can do this practical writing. Then you will see that this task, this teacher is really dangerous. This teacher is easy. This teacher I can sit in the back, he doesn't bother. Okay, so this is hierarchy. You understand that? In AI, it is very easy branch, but it is up to us. They are trying to make computer like us. Who knows more than us? So this branch is very open branch. That if you understood how you are doing, computer is supposed to do in that way. At present it may not be doing like that. Goal is there that it will do someday in that way. So that is the this one. So hierarchical planning solution here by sequence of action that is executable in the initial step, and then so we go down and we divide into parts. The big example of hierarchical planning is decision tree. You have read decision tree? You know that in decision tree, you how you search first node in decision tree? By entropy calculation and information gain. So there must be some variable to do hierarchical planning. So variable is that how tough the teacher is, while for writing practical. Variable will be there whether basically you are doing classification. Same kind of task, easier task and tougher task, and then you go on handling easier tasks one by one, so that tougher task also gets completed because tougher tasks are divided into easier tasks. So, this primitive state and compound state and goal task. So there is a goal, and we can reach to the goal by very, very complicated way. What we have done in hierarchical planning, complicated way we have divided into small tasks. Like say, the goal is there to reach Chennai for some interview. Then it is a tough task, reaching Chennai tomorrow. So you are divided from IARE. I will go maybe ring road, certain exit, certain in, and then from there you will come down to one exit, one in, somewhere there a meet and all is there. Then you will go to either airport. If you want to go to airport, be there on T road, it will take you to the airport. Or get down to go to railway station. In that way, you can go on achieving tasks and complete most difficult tasks. So, primitive state means the tasks which are very simple, they are mostly at initial stage, there is hardly any constraint and easily achievable. Complicated tasks which are very tough, having multiple constraints and very difficult to achieve. And then goal task means it is evaluation based, whether I have reached the goal. So if you reach Chennai, if you are at railway station, you will see Chennai. If you are you are going by air, aircraft pilot is good enough to tell you we are landing to Chennai. So you know that you have reached the goal. In that. So the best thing in hierarchical planning is that almost all practical planning tools are hierarchical. Why? Because all the planning problems are very complicated, as I told you. They cannot be done in one go. You have to divide and conquer. Hierarchical planning is divide and conquer planning. And it is not only divide and conquer, it is a dynamic. In algorithm, you might have studied divide and conquer and dynamic programming. Hierarchical planning is divide and conquer, and each part you are doing with dynamic programming. So these are the Nonlinear is one of the very prominent software. sheet. That okay, we have plots of that dead parts. Then this machine with 2200 cycle also doesn't know, because till now nobody has wore that material. But that machine with only one button will perform, because it will ask whether I have washed it correctly, and till the time you say yes, it will continue to know.
Sorry, sir. You mean to say that you will avoid programming part of the
No, that I am telling you there are, I am coming back. Learning requires brain, or you can say some sort of intelligence, which can map. Because you know input, you know output, and you are mapping. And as I said in the first session, learning is a dicey thing. It can map very wrongly, very incorrectly. Like when Corona came, everybody is told it is a strong viral disease. I don't know, I don't remember one tablet which started selling black in some 400 rupees per tablet. And people took and got okay, because without that tablet also they would have got it. So learning can give very wrong impression. Doctor learned, if I am giving that tablet, remdesivir, if I am giving, patient is getting okay. But the fact was that patient will get okay without remdesivir also. Because somebody supported remdesivir, doctor got the map, remdesivir is essential. And people who took remdesivir, they are dying doing exercise nowadays. You have seen that not many people are dying immediately after exercise and swimming. So that is the side effect of remdesivir, that it gets clotting in the blood after some time. It immediately releases the clot, but it keeps the clotting chemical somewhere in the blood, and it can clot at very unopportune time when you are not expecting it. Mostly when blood flow is very high. After exercise and something like that. You see so many people are dying lately because of going to gym. That is known as gym deaths. So, it requires, machine learning requires that you should have some intelligence to map input to output. Where the programming doesn't require any intelligence at all. See Turing's machine, only paper. And still it can program. You can program anything. Paper is not having any intelligence, nothing, but you can program, where learning requires some intelligence. But why we are exposed to learning better than programming? Because we are intelligent. Our kid, a small baby, is having IQ of 55, which is more than grown-up orangutan. Grown-up orangutan is also having IQ of 50. So because we are having that IQ, we can learn. Other animals cannot learn. You show them 2, 3, and show that 2 plus 3, 5, they will not understand anything. But we understand. So we are having input 2, input 3, output 5. Immediately he will make model. The 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. How? Because there will be a system of mapping. He will make 2 plus 3. Teacher will ask 2 plus 3. And boy will tell 1 slab. Then that is wrong answer. 2 plus 3, 8, another slab. Then 1, till the time it is 5. He will be go on getting his slab, or he will get chocolate money in the 5. So in both way, positive or negative evaluation, you put into his mind that 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Otherwise there is nothing like 2, there is nothing like 3, and there is nothing like 2. It is all symbols. And this symbolic manipulation, somebody is there to supervise them. Your mother is there, your teacher is there, which will guide you that 2 plus 3 is equal. So, and purpose, as I said, biggest purpose of machine learning is generalization. Sometimes it is used for classification, almost always for prediction. It is used for memory and recall, and feature discovery. I will just deal with feature discovery in 1 minute. You know penicillin? Almost all of you know penicillin one injection. So penicillin injection, if given to one person, can cure the disease. I give penicillin if some wound is there and it gets cured. To other person it doesn't affect it. It is like giving water injection, it won't work. And I have seen in my engineering college, in my second year, one student got very small wound. He was administered penicillin without testing, and he died in half a day. And before the death, he became this much white. He glowed. So penicillin can react adversely, very strong, unstoppable. That's why if you go and take this kind of injection, first they will take one small dose, put a circle around that, and see whether you are getting reaction or not. So that is. So till this time, penicillin was invented by Alexander. Some Fleming long time back. Not Alexander Fleming. I think Alexander Fleming. And yeah. Then till now, so many people are dying because of penicillin. So many people, penicillin is not effective. And so many people, 90% people, penicillin is curing. 8% not affecting, 2% are dying. That was the statistics. But we could not do anything. Why it is happening? Now, machine learning has told, when machine learning system was made, and you know that a deep learning, each neural network depth is one feature. So, if you know 10 features and you make 30 feature deep neural network depth, you will come to know 20 extra about which you don't know. But if you observe the data, you can understand this feature is this. After some time, people came to know that there is a genetic chromosome 63, and due to that, if it is there in, if there is some problem in that chromosome, you will die. If the chromosome is not there or half there, that also is there, penicillin will not do effect. Otherwise, penicillin will be always effective. That is known as feature engineering. How we got it? We know 10 features of penicillin. We made 10-layer deep neural network. All layers will catch one feature. That is the neural network's property. Then suppose you are having 20 deep network, then you got 10 extra features about which you don't know. But if you analyze the data and match with the feature, that is known as feature engineering or feature discovery. So many things. You know that, how many of you know that cancer is curable with one single medicine? Just one bag. One bag. Now no cancer is deadly. Cancer will become like Dabu. You take one medicine, it will be cured. How it has happened? Because they came to know there is some genetic problem because in cancer. They were calculating the feature and they were knowing 1900 features. And they put one neural network that is given by Google, that is 70,000 layer deep. They got 68,000 extra features. Then they triangulated those features and they came to know exact cause of every cancer. Now any cancer is there, you take medicine, they are getting only 6 doses and you will be completely cured. And it will never occur again. So all this new development which you are seeing in the field of medicine is largely driven by machine learning, deep learning basically, to run. So, and classification, that having one system separate than one kind of people separate than other kind of people. When you generalize, suppose that you have to generalize between donkey and lion, then you will generalize lion looks like this, donkey looks like this. Then you can classify, these are donkey, these are lion. Generalization leads to the classification, and once you classify, you can predict. A new animal has come. Suppose that you have never seen a zebra, and I think that most of you have never seen a zebra. And you are dropped in Botswana, in Africa. When you see zebra, what you will tell? Suppose you have seen horse. Then you will say small horse with stripes. Generalize that is small horse with stripes. If you have seen a donkey, you will say that no, it is not, and you have seen donkey and horse both. You say no, it is not like horse, it is like donkey. Little big donkey with stripes. But suppose you have seen a mule. You know, mule is a cross between horse and donkey. Then you will say it is exactly a mule with stripes. So, I don't know. And then once you get that idea that this is from, you started doing predicting, then it will go to your memory. You don't keep anything in your memory. Suppose that your mother says, she is your mama, she is your mausi, and then you will keep in your memory. Name, photo, some tagging will be done. And tagging requires, memory requires some kind of learning. If you don't learn, you cannot memorize. Because there will be no time, no generalization, no classification. You will remember, and you have read one book, The Man Who Took His Wife as a Hat. So there is one book, and you should read The Man Who Took His Wife as a Hat. Because he knows that she is a woman. But as he cannot learn, as learning facilities are gone, so one day he took and he tried to put her as a hat on his head. Without that classification, generalization, and this thing, prediction has gone. Otherwise, every moment you are predicting. You are standing there and you are predicting when I will finish. When you can go, every moment you are predicting. And before prediction, generalization, he has put part 2, so you will generalize, there must be one part 3, after that will be over. So you are doing generalization, you are doing classification, and you are doing memory. And feature discovery, of course, you cannot do. It is a test of learning problem. So you see, as I said, in programming, you are having program. What is a program? Step-by-step instruction to manipulate data. And data is input and program is also input. What is the output? Result. So step-by-step instruction that you have in any programming language is input, data is input, and it is giving you output. In machine learning, no. Result is input, data is input, and this program, that is also wrong, but it is mapping how this data got this result. Suppose that you have taken mushroom. You know that there is a state in India, Sikkim, and they are very fond of mushroom. But every year, 1,000 people in Sikkim die because of poisonous mushroom. So you have taken mushroom, the data is there, you had mushroom, result is there, you died. Then they will say that mushroom is poisonous. So this mapping is there, that is learning. So, and then we are seeing here that there is one kind of learning which is known as supervised learning. Supervised learning is done only 1% of the time, but it is most important learning. Why it is most important? Because there is someone who can teach you. You are learning here only 1% in any college, any school. 99% you are learning yourself by analogy. It is he is like this, not he is that. Like this, nobody taught you. But it is you have discovered. So, if there is a supervisor, like how you know that a cow is cow? Suppose I ask, do you know cow? All of you will say yes. But basically you don't know cow. You know that this white animal is cow. Do you know how long is her intestine? Whether what is the whole process of making milk, and why cow can give milk several months after giving birth to a calf, where no other animal can give. All these things you don't know. But if I will say, do you know cow? Everybody will say, yes, I know cow. Why? Because somebody has given the label to you, this animal is cow, without telling you about that animal. So this is again, and you remember that learning is not exact complete. I told you, learning can lead to big errors. People got model of sun, which was completely wrong, but it was telling eclipse also, because Rahu and Ketu were there. But that was not scientific model, that was not correct model, but it worked for 5,000 years without any problem. So learning is probabilistic approximate computing. What is probabilistic? results are not 100%, they are having some probability. Approximate means even if you reach after probability, it will not be 1, it will be 0.999999, some approximation, and then it is a computing. So remember that you can get very good result in machine learning. 99.7% is considered bad result nowadays. So if, many times it will predict better than 99.7%, 99.8%, but never 100%. Remember that in closed form solution, you know what is closed form solution? If you can describe any phenomena as a mathematics and get some variable as answer, that is known as closed form solution. In closed form solution, you will get 100% accurate answers. No ifs and buts, no probability. If under root 4 is always 2. It cannot be 2.01, it cannot be 1.99. But here, if you take under root 4, I can do under root 4 by machine learning also. But sometimes it will give 1.99999, sometimes it will give 2.0008. You try to take under root 4 in computer calculator and tell that accuracy should be 38 bit, and you will say it will give 1.99998, sometimes 2.0005, because that is learned model. So history of machine computing, I am simply telling that there was machine computing is predating computers. Machine learning was before computer. At the time psychologists used it. So they were having cutoff. Suppose you want to see one cinema, what options are there, all those kinds of things. But since 1959, machine learning became very prominent. And then at the time it was logical machine learning, mostly using predicate logic. You know predicate algebra? So it was using predicate algebra. And that time. Then statistics became the core of machine learning. And came one very good thing, that statistics gives you, basically machine learning is statistics only. It gives you idea of average, deviation, and various kind of properties a data set is having. So then it came the stochastics, probabilistic machine learning. It came from base theory. This statistical phase of machine learning came with Markov model. There is one Markov model, I think you all know in mathematics. So that got statistical phase, base theory got stochastic phase, and neural network, which was not used a lot till 2006. Is now the core of machine learning. CR having deep learning, all those kind of things. All are based on neural network. So position of machine learning, so you can see that AI, ML and deep learning in this way they are there. So machine learning is a part of AI. But remember there are some kind of machine learning which is beyond AI. John von Neumann, father of computer science. So he told one thing, that if there is a pond which is frictionless and all the parts which is required to create a computer are floating in that, and we give a computer is also floating in that, and you give a program to computer how to create a new computer with those parts. It will assemble and create new computer. Then what is happening? Computer is creating a computer. Here there is no machine learning, no artificial intelligence, but it is a phenomena of biological world which can be implemented by computers. So pond is there, it is frictionless. Our computer assembly part, RAM, processor, all are floating. And there is one computer which is also floating. Computer is having program how to assemble a computer. And if it assembles computer using that, it is creating its duplicate. So basically it is increasing its population of its own. So that is one another kind of machine learning which hardly people talk, but that also is machine learning. That is not. So rote learning, first learning is rote learning. We mug. Before exam, everybody is having a small mark, or you are having, and you are working very fast. Why? Because rote learning is ultimate learning. Rote learning is the ultimate. Whatever basics you have been taught, it is all rote learning. Why A is A, why B is B, you have worked. Why 6 is 6, you have worked. Why your mother is mother, you worked. There is no reason. There is no reasoning. Otherwise, there is no reason, no learning. Where is the input and output? And mind mapping? There is no. So, rote learning is most basic learning, and we should not be ashamed if we are doing rote learning. In certain situations, only learning which can be done is rote learning. Like, you have gone to China. You will mark few sentences because there is no input, there is no output, no modeling. There is no knowledge system, there is no such. That will take a lot of time. So rote learning is one of the most basic learning but very important. And the biggest power of rote learning is that it doesn't require any processing power or almost zero processing power. It is basically memory game. You put in memory, you reclaim from memory. So when you are young, babies having low IQ, they can do only rote learning. And rote learning is the base of every knowledge we are having acquired later. So rote learning is very good learning, but people perceive. So rote and rational learning. So simple repetition, and in rational learning, you start recognizing semantics and similarities. And then it keeps, what is WM? Working memory. So working memory to main memory to working memory. It is passive learning. It is very complicated learning, active learning. So everybody tells, don't do rote learning, don't do rote learning. I am telling you, do rote learning. No problem. Rote learning will also take you at the same place where active learning will take you. Maybe it will take a little more time. That's it. And properties of rote learning, so, still we need organization, we need generalization, and we need stability of the environment. What is the organization? We need to know that whatever has been taught to us corresponds how with other thing which you have marked. You need to know when you have marked it, then also you need to know that you are writing lion is. After lion is has to be written. That organization of the information is a necessary requirement for rote learning. Generalization. Somebody has told me about lion. Somebody has told me about this fact that child is similar to lion, and whatever lion is doing, that may be doing. That is also a part of rote learning. And then, in rote learning, environment should be very stable. So it should not be there that cat, when we were young, cat was 1.5 feet high. When I became 56, cat became 6 feet high. Then my idea of cat will go. But environment should be stable for rote learning. Fact should not change. That suppose you are, in my age, I came to know there is a country known as Czechoslovakia. Yugoslavia. No, they are now no more there. See, I have learned Czechoslovakia is having capital Praha, or Yugoslavia is having some capital. Then that all gone. So rote learning requires very stable environment, so that your information remains valid for longer time. That your whole computer is running because of caching. Do you know that? If caching is not there, even this much computer will hardly do any computing. Caching makes memory easily available to processor. But what exactly is caching? Caching is rote learning. Just from memory to memory. What it is doing? From memory to memory, from memory to memory. You see operating system. Operating system is from memory to memory. From lower speed memory to higher speed memory. That from higher speed memory to lower speed memory. And that makes core of complete computer science. That's why I say rote learning is core of computer science. there is inductive learning. Inductive learning is it is most popular machine learning. I am showing you lot many flowers and I am showing you lot many trees. Then you don't understand what is flower, what is tree, but you understand that flower is different. But you see, some small trees, they look like flower. You know, their leaves and all, so they are very down. Like I went to one person's house and one dog came and sat near me. And the dog was looking little weird. So I was little away because, fear of dog. But after some time, dog said meow. So I came to know it is a cat. So that you can have that kind of thing. Yeah. So inductive learning means lot of examples will be there. And you will see whether they are same, they are different. And through induction, through data only, you will try to suggest one kind of thing into other kind of thing. That is inductive learning. And fundamental concept of inductive learning. So, that is also in your course, learning by advice. In this world, you get every information by only two sources. First, that somebody is advising you, giving you information. Second, you are learning. There is no third way of getting information. Either your teacher is telling, teacher is advising, or somebody is telling you that, okay, this is the way, or you are learning yourself. So, what we do in this inductive learning, we see something and we label that this is of this type, whatever we know. And then we use somebody's advice, whether you are correct or not. Then we learn. So that is, inductive learning is data-centric learning. That you are exposed to a lot of data, and with the help of that data, you can, generalize they are one type, they are other type. And always, core of learning goes into, so that there can be used credit risk assessment. So what is the credit risk assessment? If you have seen my data of my credit card use, and every day I use only for 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, maximum 5,000. But you see, if somebody, sorry, this is credit risk, no, but I'm taking something like a credit card risk. Somebody used it for 1 lakh because he has stolen my credit card. He knows that very soon I will know and I will report. Then credit card company will not give that one. Because they know that Neeraj Upadhyay used it maximum 5,000 rupees, never 1 lakh. So this is also inductive learning. If he was using up to 5,000, he will use not more than 10,000. Otherwise what they will do, they will call me. They will tell whether this request is from you. So that is credit risk. When you go for loan, then they see your salary income and your past payment. If you have paid all your loan earlier properly, then most likely this time also you will pay. So inductive learning takes large amount of data. It tries to get central feeling from that data. And disease diagnosis. So if disease diagnosis is a little tough to understand, but I am telling you palmistry. So if people who are having this line are having this age, okay, I am having 100 people and all the 100 people were having more age, line was bigger, and if you are having bigger line, you will be having more. That is a machine learning. Palmistry is not a lie, it is not a fake thing, it is machine learning. But the problem with palmist is that he is not having large data, but still he is trying to guess. Machine learning is useful when data is very large. Palmist is trying to guess when data is very small. How many hands palmist would have seen in his life? Maximum 2,000, 3,000. Still he is guessing. But suppose he will guess after seeing 1 million hands, then his result will be very accurate. So all the disease face, how we recognize face? Because there are certain points. how many people did hear computer vision? At least one course. So in computer vision, when we have to recognize face, we don't improve the picture. We destroy the picture. And we get only that part which is very important. And we throw all other parts. Why? Because only those parts are needed to recognize. If we take all the parts, computation will be very heavy. So we destroy the picture. And only core part is there, and with the core part we try to recognize any face. So in face recognition, what we are seeing, so many faces, and we are trying, this thing is similar, nose is similar, eyes are big, eyes are small, chin is big, chin is small, some 10 to 12 criteria, not more than that. And you remember every face based on that, the variation of those 12 variables. Then explanation based learning. So what happens, if I generalize and I don't explain, it is not good. Suppose that earlier, old people in villages, they will see the temperature, they will see the cloud, they will see the moisture in the air, and they will tell it is going to rain after 2 days. They have generalized with that data, and they can predict now. That is also learning. But suppose you cannot explain that. How you got? What is the relationship between temperature, moisture, and cloud? Whether temperature should be different to different, moisture should be different to different. Old people were not having that. They didn't have it. They don't explain. Why they don't explain? Learning is very difficult to explain. If learning is same to explain, in the same household, one boy becomes very good, one boy becomes criminal. They have learned from the same environment. How two different results come? It is very difficult to explain. Learning is most unexplainable part of computer science. And that made it that tricky. So now, see, earlier machine learning was there, that was easier to explain still. Up to support vector machine, if you have studied support vector machine, support vector machine is most explainable architecture. You are making the gap between two classes more and more, so that classification is easier. Afterward, neural network not at all explainable. Do you think neural network is convex optimization? It is not even convex optimization. But how it is giving good result? Convex optimization giving good result is understood. But neural network is not even convex optimization. Why? You see what you do L1, L2 lasso, you add noise. And it is giving better result. So it is very funny branch, where adding noise gives better result. Data is there, you add noise and it gives better result. So explainability is very poor in learning. So this Gerald Dijon, he told that learning should be explainable, otherwise it should not be used. Anything unexplainable is dangerous. So that intelligent system can learn a general concept after observing only a single example. He told, if I can explain it, then there is no need of large data. If I can explain it, with one set of example I can tell this is the way. There is one learning known as pulse coupled neural network, PCNN. And there you don't require large data to predict. With very small data you can predict. I am doing a research that 1000 layer of deep neural network and classifier in CNN. I can do with 6 layer of SVM and a classifier. 1000 layers means how much power it is guzzling. So it is a green computer, only 6 layers and a classifier. But of that, this has to be understandable. And thing is that for getting understanding, we should know all the feature of the data. That is feature engineering, and that is the most difficult. So still it is dream, it is not happening completely, but it is there in your course, and that is very good. So we can have this concept, we can make. So basically here learning is merging with intelligence, AI. And we are trying to identify how to have, so there is a thumb rule. If you are having more information, you need less data. If you are having more data, you need less information. You can learn either through data or through information. If you are having more, I am telling you everything. You need not observe. And if you have observed, you need not listen to. So if you are having more data, you need very less information. If you are having more information, you need very less data. Explainability will come somewhere in middle, where information and data is in, you can say, somewhere hand to hand. This is what they explain. But then I am telling you something beyond the syllabus, that Bayesian learning can explain every learning. And that's why I was discussing with sir, learning is just statistics and probability. So Bayesian learning, which is both statistics and probability, can explain any learning. We are not having time, otherwise I show to my student that you can get neural network from Bayesian learning, you can get decision tree from Bayesian learning, you can do concept learning from Bayesian learning. Every learning can come. No, don't worry, my scene down a little bit. Okay. I'm just finishing. So that is a great thing. You know, if any of you can get explainability in machine learning, how much money you will be having, it is uncomparable. You cannot even think of. Because the whole world is running after that. Can we make machine learning explainable? Explainable equal to other sciences. So these are the means. If we can explain how from this data we have got this result generalization, and from generalization can we get similar kind of data, then we will say learning is explainable. So this is the process. As I said, not very good, not very correct, and because that, so I am leaving it, and I will just see that there are other learning, concept learning, decision tree, rule-based learning, and analytical learning. These are the classical learning model. They are being taught in machine learning. But then stochastic learning, as I said, this is the root learning basically, Bayesian learning. And any other learning can be modeled based on this learning. And this is most explainable also because it is mathematical learning. So some other Bayesian learning, and this is the Bayes theorem. And then supervised learning, as I said, when supervisor is there, who is telling these are not cats and these are cats. So you are having label in your mind. And then regression and classification are supervised learning. If data is continuous, we call regression. If data is not continuous, we call classification. And unsupervised learning, it is clustering. I told when you see a zebra, you try to cluster with donkey or view or horse. And they mean clustering, so it is an example of clustering. Reinforced learning is one unique thing which you should know, and it is very tough learning. Like nowadays, I saw one nursery school advertisement. It is written IIT JEE coaching is also given. Now in nursery school, what IIT JEE coaching they will be given. But thing is that they are going in that direction. So result will come after maybe 13 years, 14 years. But they are preparing in that direction, and every success in that direction will take you nearer to the goal, and every failure in that direction will take you away from it. So that also is reinforced learning. So reinforced learning based on the Markov decision process you can do. Otherwise, there are other models using dynamic programming, Monte Carlo, temporal difference. Now, a lot of is there on reinforced learning. Lack of time. Actually, many people tell that single neuron cannot classify exclusive arc. I have done single neuron also can classify exclusive arc. you can try. And back to position. Big trouble in machine learning is that it becomes too data intensive very soon. And that is known as problem of dimensionality. And that's how we have to reduce the dimension. But CNN is there basically reducing dimensionality. So I am, because that will be very difficult, so many nice things. But yeah, I can say that it cannot be done in 3 hours. It takes long. So I am stopping here. I told that some exam or something. So still, if you are having time and you want to ask anything, you can ask. Because it has been covered so fast and lousily that if you ask, you must be very intelligent. But still, we should not discount it. You know that one thing, all Einsteins, all Nobel Prize winners, they came from the college like IARE, but they teach in IIT. Yeah, that is the truth. Einstein only told, all Einsteins, all Nobel Prize winners, none of them come from the reputed college. But after getting Nobel Prize, they teach in reputed college. And from those reputed college, nobody gets Nobel Prize. You see, all are getting from and that is a fact. Like Satyanarayana, Microsoft chairman, is not from IIT Mumbai, he is from Manipur. So that is the fact. So never discount intelligence. Intelligence is there everywhere again.
Any query, student? Any query, student? Thank you, sir, for this valuable lecture. We truly appreciate your knowledge, time, and effort. Now I would like to request Professor Sambasivarosa to do the honor for the guest.
Yes, my dear students, today you know the value and how fortunate you are. I just asked for an hour with him. See, there is something like, from the inside, why I should not become an expert in this area. This is a driving force for us to learn. Please understand, probably at this age or at this time, you will understand the value, worth of the lecture you are going to hear. So whenever you get an opportunity, try to grab the opportunity. You also become one of the eminent persons like this. Thank you all, sir. Thank you, sir. Once again, I bow my head.
Faculty and students, please join for group photo. 2 rows at a time, please.
అవసరం నేను చెప్పేసి ఫ్యాకల్టీ ఏమో లేకుండా